name is Leah Grant. I'm here with Pure Movement Pilates. Today we're going to focus a little bit on chest, shoulders, and arms. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and grab onto the foam roller. And I'm going to hold on to either end. It's just a standing warm-up. I think we've done this one before. Feels pretty good. Relaxing the shoulders back and down. Let the foam roller sort of feel heavy in your hand so that you get some weight into the back of your shoulders. So you're sort of feeling like the way that you're sliding the scapula down. You're pinching the foam roller just a little bit. And start to lift the foam roller up overhead. Enjoying a little bit of a stretch. I am going to let my ribs open. I'm going to let my spine arch. I'm going to take a nice big inhale, squeezing the foam roller just a little bit, and then exhale. Bring it all the way back down. Again, letting it feel weighted. Maybe a little bend to the knees. Inhaling, move kind of as it feels good, starting to open up through the heart. And exhale, bend. Inhaling, open. And exhale, bend. Let's do that once more. Inhaling, open. This time I'd like you to keep the foam roller up overhead and set your shoulders in line with your hips. We're going to sway right to left. So we're going to open up the left side of our rib wall. Notice that you're not just letting the arms drop to drop the foam roller, right? You're squeezing the foam roller a little bit. Keep it elevated. Lift the heart up and over. Now push into your feet. Stack yourself back up. Lifting up and over. Taking a nice big stretch. Maybe a little bend to the knees. Taking it back up. Up and over. So keep your shoulders connected. Try not to let the foam roller drop. Pick it up a little bit. And then keep lifting up and over. And then stack it up. And last time like this. So the foam roller doesn't droop. The spine stretches. The rib wall stretches. Picking it up. Moving into the rotating wood chopper. We're going to go all the way around and down. Starting to stretch. Open those hamstrings. Try not to get dizzy here. Up to the left. Down and around. Stacking it up nice and tall, to the right, down and around. Oh, really starting to move through your rib wall, twisting through the waist. Let's do once more each. Squeezing that foam roller just a little bit. Keep your arms engaged. And last one. Down and around. I'd like you to hang down through center. Let your whole body feel heavy. I'm just going to do a little rocking right to left. Opening up through your spine. A little squeeze of the foam roller. Start to think you're going to go back, then up. All the way back up to standing nice and tall. Place the foam roller down onto the floor in front of you. Both hands will be on top. Step your feet a little wider if you'd like to as we start to move through a little bit of the lateral lunge. So I even need to walk my foam roller a little farther because as I sit back and down, I'm going to open up underneath my arm, the back of my hip. I'm going to stretch my butt away from the foam roller and then pick it back up. So it's a little bit of a thoracic extension again. So I lift my heart, but sit my hips back and down. Hip flexion, shoulder extension. Last one each. All the way back up. Go ahead, set the foam roller out of the way for now. Putting it to one side, let's move into a standing roll down. I'm going to use the wall, and I'm going to step myself back against the wall. Feet are about a foot away from the wall. I feel the head, shoulders, and hips against the wall. And we're going to start to move a little bit slow. I have a soft bend to my knees. Easy inhale here. Exhale, I'd like you to nod the chin to the chest. Think a little bit of peeling yourself away from the wall, one bony landmark at a time. Feel the way that you're going to rotate your spine ever so slightly up the wall in order to start to pour yourself down the wall. So as the hands drop towards the feet, feel the way that the bottom rotates up the wall so that your sits bones, as you reach for your toes, are now up against the wall. Take an inhale here. Spiral those sits bones down the wall as you start to tuck the wheel of your pelvis. And try to spread your low back against the wall as you're pouring yourself down the wall to stack yourself back, then up the wall, right? One bony mass at a time. Take a little bit of an inhale here at the top. Try to make it smaller next time, right? So as we go down again, find even smaller movement. to think as though you're peeling yourself off one bone at a time. Try to spread through that low back, pouring yourself forward. There is a part of my spine that suddenly just feels like it's like it just, instead of rolling it away, it feels like a huge chunk comes away. I'm going to try to work on that. Take an inhale at the bottom. Exhale, turn the sits bones down, slide them down the wall as you spread your sacrum back against the wall. My arms are super dead weight right now. I'm trying not to do anything with them. Woo! Let's hold here at the top. For just a moment, I want you to try to press your hands back against the wall just a little bit. Getting a little bit of a chest opener. I'm going to turn my head to one side, and I'm going to keep wrapping my left shoulder. So I'm looking to the right, and I'm going to wrap my left shoulder back and down. Back and down, back and down. And I'm just going to hold a beat, stretching to the side of my neck, front of my shoulder, looking at my spine. Is this easy? Is it hard? What is touching the wall? What is not? Back through center. I'm going to hit that to the left side now. So looking, whoa, really different here. Harder to get my head around. My shoulder wants to come with me. So I'm going to wrap the right shoulder back a little bit more. My elbow pits are opening. Last breath like that. Coming back through center. Again, I'm going to let my arms feel like dead weight. I'm going to start to pour myself down, tucking the chin to the chest. Thinking about sliding my rib wall back as I start to peel my shoulders off. Trying to get the low ribs back. Sacrum. Lumbar. Is your lumbar touching, or did you just peel the whole thing away? Ooh, keep it back there. You're going to feel like you're going to turn from the spread of your sacrum up the wall your butt goes till you feel your sits bones press into the wall. Maybe your fingertips touch your toes. Take an easy inhale, a little bend to those knees. Let your head feel like dead weight as you come back. I'd like you to start to press yourself back into the wall until you feel the spread of your sacrum, your lumbar spine, and the low ribs. Hold that. I want you to now actively reach your arms on a 45-degree angle in front of you and hold this shape. So if we were on our back, this would look much like the 100 position, right? So I want you to actively exhale, pull your mid-rib wall back into the wall behind you. Tuck the wheel of your pelvis just a little bit. Standing into your feet. Lift through your inside leg line. Do you feel your abductors light up? Try to spread the right and the left side of your hip back against the wall. Keep your low back long, and we're breathing into the rib wall behind us. Exhale, lift the navel. Flex a little deeper into the wall. Flex your low back into the wall. Twice more. Inhaling. Exhale, pull the navel back. Hold that. Don't let it move. Try to take another inhale. Exhale, pull the navel back. This is your last inhale. Exhale, articulate the spine the rest of the way back up. You will come more through a neutral spine suddenly, right? Or up at the top, you're going to feel the weight of the head, spread of the rib wall, and the weight of the pelvis. The hands can be soft. Woo, gently sort of peel yourself off of the wall. Take a moment. We're going to come to our mat. I'm going to pull mine back just a little bit. But we're going to stay standing as we move into a little bit of a standing roll down now. Free flow in the middle of the space. I'm going to turn to one side so that you can kind of see again what I'm going to picture is that the wall is still behind me. Wrapping those shoulders back and down, I'm going to think a little bit again of one vertebra at a time, nodding the chin to the chest, pulling my mid-rib wall back as I start to pour down towards the toes. Keeping that low back long for as long as I can. Right, and then picturing like I'm going to turn from the sacrum to my sits bones. Right, as I start to open up through those hamstrings, the hands will feel heavy. Take a little inhale here. We're going to stay in this soft position, soft bend to the knees if you need to. And then gently just start to kind of press the legs long for a moment and think about pulling that mid-rib wall back. Inhale to softly bend. Exhale, pull that mid-rib wall back. Inhale to give a soft bend. Exhale, pull your mid-rib wall back. We're going to start to move into a twist here. So I want you to bring your left arm down to the floor. You're going to start to stretch your right leg straight as you twist the right arm up towards the ceiling and try to encourage your rib wall to rotate. And then back down, soft bend to both knees. Right hand comes down. Left arm is going to stretch up as you straighten the left leg. We're going to start to twist back and forth like that. I've opted to exhale as I reach to try to help my rib wall around, engaging the obliques, oof, and my waist. Twisting. Let's hit that once more. Stretching your hamstrings, maybe the outer hips. Ooh, stretching your shoulders. Last one. Back through center. Both arms are going to feel weighted. Gently start to straighten the legs. Lift through that inside leg line as you start to press yourself back, then up. Picturing the wall behind you. Standing into your legs. Rolling those shoulders back and down. Let it breathe. Take a nice big inhale for me. Lifting it up. And then let it soften and let it breathe. All right, so we're going to transition and we're going to get our wrist weights. So grab onto either hand weights if you don't have wrist weights, or whatever wrist weight works for you. All right, so still standing, I'm back on my mat. We're going to think a little bit of our lateral lunge from earlier. Feet are a little wider than the hips distance apart. And this time, let's start with our hands in front of us. And we're just gently going to start to sway right to left, keeping the line of your chest lifted just a little bit. Right to left. So I would like you to try to spread through the bottoms of your feet. Think that you're going to push down into your heel to press your hips back up, right? From here, if you'd like to, adding on, I'd like you to open your arms up to a T. A little bit of that sit back and down. Notice if your shoulder girdle is slouched forward, shoulders are drooped, right? Keep the line of your chest lifted. Let's do 4 more. Last 3. Give me 2. And last 1. We're going to add on further still. As you go to one side, I want you to think of your twist. So reach down, stretch one arm up. As you come up, sink and twist. Back and forth. So your hips are still going back. Think of pulling the knee up to your chest. And think about reaching the side of your rib wall up towards the ceiling. 4. Last 3. Give me 2. Good. And finishing the last one. Let your arm reaching and reaching. Good. Back through center. This time both hands are going to come down. We're going to go through a little bit of a squat. Widen through the hips and the knees. Wide second position. My hands are firmly planted down onto the mat. And I'm able to straighten my legs. Maybe you can't. That's okay. But I want you to start to peel the legs as straight as you can while keeping the hands firmly planted. Lift those abdominals. Think of your lumbar flexion. Last one. Hold. Heel toe your feet up underneath you. Let your arms feel like dead weight. Just a soft bend behind the knees, like a secret bend, only you know. Take an easy inhale here. Start to articulate your hips. Sorry, I said spine. Tuck your pelvis. Articulate your spine. Soft bend into those knees. Arms feel like dead weight. Bringing yourself all the way up into standing. I'm going to come back against the wall yet again. Now you could do this free flow in the middle of your room if you'd like. If you don't have a wall that's got some good space, that's okay. Feet about a foot's distance away from the wall. My back. So my sacrum, my rib wall, my shoulder girdle, and head are back. And that's going to be part of the exercise, at least if you're against the wall, so that you can feel like you're connected to something. You've got feedback. I'd like you to try to bring your arms to a cactus pose. Now this alone could be a little bit of work. Maybe in order to get your arms back, you feel like you have to pop your ribs forward. That's not worth it. So keep your rib wall back, head heavy, and maybe the arms have to float away from the wall. That's okay. So find where those bony masses against the wall behind you are connected. Let's start by bringing our arms forward, sort of like bookends, right? Opening and closing. Good. Keeping the masses of the head, the shoulder girdle, your rib wall, and the pelvis back against the wall behind you. My legs are shaking just a little bit. I think it's because I'm standing, sending energy down through my feet, really engaging my hamstrings here, like I'm sort of pushing into those feet to keep me back. Shoulders stay back and down, really focused on the weight of my scapula behind me. Let's do 3 more. Last 2. Every time I press those arms back, I'm careful not to pop my ribs forward. Almost there, last one. Pressing that open, smaller range of motion here. I'm going to go down a little bit with my elbows. And I'm going to focus on pinching the tips of my shoulder blades together. And then I'm going to go up with my arms, like I'm going to make a halo with my hands, all the while I'm pulling those shoulders down. So that's my range of motion, and that's it, and that's okay. Drawing down through the back. I am pulling my rib wall against the wall behind me, trying to spread more of my spine against the wall behind me. Yes, I feel my elbows coming off just a little bit. That's okay, that's where I'm at today. Standing into those legs. I'm trying to grow tall to the top of my head, as though I'm like a tree growing up towards the sky. We've got 5 more. Shoulders are back and down. Reaching that from the feet all the way through the top of the head. 3. Almost there. Last 2. Base of the skull is back against the wall. Pulling all the way down. Let's soften and let it breathe. Again, start to peel yourself off the wall. Standing into those legs. Flex through the lumbar spine. Lift through that inside leg line as you keep yourself as close to the wall as you can and start to then drip yourself forward. You'll feel the pelvis turn up the wall like your sits bones are standing into the wall now. Take an inhale. Exhale as you start to peel yourself back. Think of spreading through your sacrum. Try to get your lumbar spine long against the wall. Pressing it back just to about your brow line, mid-rib wall. Arms float up 45 degrees, right? This is your hundreds position, right? We're going to breathe in this. Take an easy inhale. As you exhale, pull the navel back. Think of pressing the arms into the wall behind you. Inhale. Floating them up 45 degrees. Exhale, press. Inhale. Exhale, pull up through that inside leg line. Lifting the navel into the wall behind you. Make sure your pelvis feels level. Notice if you feel like a hip is hiked or part of your pelvis is up against the wall. Pull that mid-rib wall. Sink. Think of flexing deeper. Lifting the layers of abdominals. Lift through that inside leg line. Shoulders are out of your ears. I'm reaching forward on a diagonal. Then I'm pulling back to the back of my arms. 2. Careful your shoulders do not drip forward. Almost there. Last 1. Reaching it forward on a diagonal, then slowly start to stack yourself all the way back up. Carefully peel yourself off of the mat, or off of the wall, rolling it out for a bit. We're going to, again, stand on our mat. This time, I'm going to come to one end, facing my mat like it's a runway. Moving into our roll down, walk out, and then pike the hips and walk back up. Let's circle the arms up overhead, taking a nice big inhale. Lift the layers. Think of that lumbar flexion again. Lift through that inside leg line. You're going to start to pour yourself down. Pretty active here, lifting up through the layers, reaching towards the toes. The hands are going to go ahead and find the floor. You're going to walk out in 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Set your shoulders back and down. Think of standing up against your wall again, right? That's your plank. The lift of the layers, wrap the shoulders, standing into those heels. Take an easy inhale here. Right arm leads, walking it back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Easy breath at the bottom. Soft bend to the knees. Curl the wheel of your pelvis. Start to bring yourself all the way up. Circle the arms. Again, arch up and over. Lifting the layers, lifting the layers, lifting the layers, making it super active. Left hand leads, walking at 4, 3, 2, 1. Wrap the shoulders back and down. Stand into your legs. Lift the layers of abdominals. Take an inhale here. You're going to walk it back with your left arm. 4, 3, 2, 1. Easy inhale. Then scoop the wheel of the pelvis. Picture you're back against that wall again. What do you feel articulating? And circle the arms. We've got twice more. Lifting up and over. Good. Resist the weight. It wants to pull you. Right arm leads. 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing into those shoulders. Lifting through the layers. Sinking the heels. Easy inhale. Right arm leads. 4, 3, 2, 1. Soft bend to those knees. Curl it back up. Flexing through that lumbar spine. Circling the arms. Last time. Lift. Pouring yourself forward. Soft bend to those knees. Left hand walks you out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Wrap the shoulders back and down. We're going to stay in a low position. We're going to float from our plank to our pike, shifting the hips back, sinking the heels. You can pedal the legs if that feels good. Continuing to flex and extend through the spine. I'd like you to sink both heels. Tuck the wheel of your pelvis. Start to wave your heart forward, wrapping those shoulders back and down. Find a baby extension at the top, lifting to the line of your chest. Then scoop the navel, pike the hips, push into the arms, sink the heels. Walk it out again if you need to. Wrap the shoulders back and down into your back pockets. They should be super awake by now. Then lift the layers of abdominals, wave the heart forward, sink the shoulders back and down. Keep the heels sinking as you lift. Then lift the navel, push into the arms, pull the abdominals back, walk it out. This is your last one. Wave the heart forward, wrapping those shoulders back and down. Nice lift of the heart, find the baby extension, tear that mat apart, then bend the knees, shift the weight back. Take a moment in child's pose, little breath here. Setting those shoulders back and down. Thank you so much, that's class.